I'm at 1559 Springdale Road doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're looking for mainly any structural issues, but anything that would be concerning to the buyer. Our access point is hanging sewer. It turns and drops into the floor right behind the washer and dryer. Just as a note, the line is the line itself. You can see it is starting to rust through here. So it's got some pinholing going on, and there is a crack down below. That should be marked on the report, but the I have a little standoff on the camera I'm going to need to remove here because of the restriction on the opening here. See a little bit of buildup right here at the opening, but this side doesn't get any flow. The line, water comes down and wides in here, and then here is the opening. So we can get just past there, drop into the clean side of that cast iron. Actually looks pretty wide open from the inside. See in the bottom left hand corner that we are vertical. There's an angle indicator there. And once we get down to the bottom, hopefully it a little bit of build up there. Right at the base of the vertical where it turns to exit the house, it looks like. Check in a minute, but I believe that the line goes straight out the side. So it's holding a little bit of water. It's at the base of the vertical, so it didn't seem to be holding any solids, but we'll take a better look at that when we pull back. And here we are. Once we get out from the house a little bit, it transitions to clay, which is to be expected on a house this age. And it goes out the back, and then it's turning towards the street. And this is the most common thing we see in clay lines, is some root intrusion. And so we'll see if we can push past this spot here. About past it. I'm going to try to run some water, see if that helps at all. It's going to take a minute for it to get there. I have made so many turns already that there we go. All right. Let's hope we can stay behind it here, and it's all the way out to the street. Try to push out as far as I can, and then you should be able to get a better look at everything when I pull back. There's a little more root intrusion. It's pretty common to have the roots get in right at the seams. They tend to, the packing, the pipe sections are only about 3 feet long, and so there's a lot of pipe connections, and so they tend to get in right at those connections where that packing breaks down a little bit and starts allowing in finger roots. As long as you keep them down and keep the line, you do some preventative maintenance on it. Usually they don't cause much structural issue with the line, but if you let them get too far out of hand, they can actually break the line. These don't look too heavy. I don't think they're actively causing any backup or anything, but they are at the point where they will need to be, at least need an initial cleaning. And to be able to clean this well, it's going to need better access than what we have here hanging. To be able to get a large enough knife in there, this will probably need an outside clean out, or at least some form of or a floor clean out. But since this exits on the side of the house, that would be the best option as far as to clean the line, because I'm getting to a point where I may not be able to get past some of these roots. This may be it here. Let's see if you pull back. There's a pretty big curtain there. It's not, the water's getting around it, but it's right in the center of the flow line, which is where the camera wants to go. And so pushing through it after all these turns, it's pretty rough. Back right here. I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to get a locate and see how close we are to the property line and the street. See how much line is left before you hit the property line. Okay, the line is right next to the last pine tree closest to the street, and it is about 9'7" deep, so it is pretty deep. Trying to see if we can no, it's not going anywhere. Yeah, the root ball is just too large. So stuck there. So I'm not going to be able to get any further. But about 68 feet or so, 69 feet, I guess. Looks to me like we're just around the front corner of the house, right in line with it. So probably still have another 50 feet or so to the main. From the point we are here, from where we are stopped, it's about another 50 feet to the main, I'd say, out in the street. I didn't see anything majorly wrong structurally, which is good. Let's see if I can rinse this off a little bit now. So hopefully a good cleaning will do the trick, but you want them to also do a re-inspection once the roots are cleared, so that you can hopefully take a look behind some of these curtains there for the connections. But the main thing is to be able to inspect that 50 feet that's left. You see, I was able to at least poke a hole through that a little bit, but pretty much root balls every about 3 feet out to that 68-foot mark, as you can see on the way out. And as we pull back here, the line itself structurally looks like it's intact and it's holding shape, so I don't see any big cracks or breaks in the line, which is good. It's really the most common thing we see is roots in these old lines, and as long as you do regular maintenance on them, it's usually not a big problem. You just kind of make sure you can either use a chemical or, periodic cleaning. But to make sure I can keep that lens cleared off. We hit those roots, it just tends to makes the camera lens a little hazy. There you go. And there was that turn. Really not a whole lot of roots on that turn. It's just enough along the edge that it's going to stop the camera a little bit. I haven't seen any connections on the top that indicate any kind of clean out either, which would definitely have helped, because they're probably going to need another access point to be able to clean this out well enough. It is relatively deep, so I'm going to stop like right here, and I'm going to get another locate maybe next to the house. Next, I'm going to take it out to where it turns. See if we can get, because of the porch, it's going to be pretty difficult to see. So we'll go right here. We'll stop, get another locate, and that's where I'm going to recommend, if possible, clean out be installed so that they can access the line. A two-way clean out and be able to clean the line of the roots. Alright, so this is marked, it's about 7 foot deep, right where, obviously right before it turns, right out past the deck. So that would be a good spot to put a clean out, is right at the turn, maybe after the turn. But again, the line looks pretty good structurally, but obviously I'm going to recommend that the line be cleaned and also referred to a licensed plumber for an additional clean out, somewhere to get some better access. There is a pedestal that's been installed for the washer and dryer that the stack goes down through, and so it may be able to there may be something underneath that pedestal, but I don't believe so. And this is where we're going vertical. So, yeah, it looks like the line comes in right here and then sweeps out, goes back. So there may be something in the floor underneath that pedestal that gives better access. But obviously we can't see with that pedestal in the way and the washer and dryer there. But we were able to get out to 68 feet, and the line structurally looked pretty good. I didn't see any major structural issues, but it does need to be cleaned and will need to be maintained in the future to keep the roots down. So that's where I recommend the additional clean out outside to help with to be able to get a larger cleaner head through the line and more thoroughly clean the roots out, so that it's not or else you won't be able to get the line fully cleaned out, and then either regular cleanings beyond that, or root X or chemical treatment beyond that, just to kind of, as preventative maintenance, usually about yearly, to keep the root intrusion down to a minimal level. But yeah, so going to recommend a licensed plumber to get their opinion on all this, a second opinion. And also, once the line is cleaned, to re-inspect it to get like the other 50 feet that we were unable to inspect due to the blockage of the root intrusion. So that'll end the inspection at 1559 Springdale Road in Cincinnati, Ohio.